Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, I'm fire hardening a rabbit stick right now. And this is just a throwing stick that you can throw at small game. And I cut a green branch, shaved off the bark, and now I'm putting it to the flame just to not really cook it or burn it, but give it a heat treat, so to speak. Of course, the smoke's blowing right in my face. Like I said, I don't want to burn it. Just fire harden it. Probably go like that. See how that works. There we go. Wow, that was really hot. And the stick's probably a little short, but it's really dense and pretty thick. So hopefully it'll be compact and make a good throwing stick. It's got a little bit of a kind of like an S bend in it. But I'm just going to experiment with different styles of rabbit sticks and see if that helps. Kind of has like a parang or kukri type shape where it's got that bend. So you imagine throwing it like kind of like a boomerang. It might actually throw a little better with a slight bend if you can throw it in such a way where it has an axis on that bend. Just keep rotating it. It's probably going to check and split. We'll see what it does here. And then I'll follow up and
Alright,
show
we've
some
got 3
demonstrations.
different rabbit sticks that I made here. And I made these from different types of wood just to experiment to see which would work the best. Essentially all I did was just shaved off the bark, took a wood rasp and sanded things down, and then have a sanding block and sanding paper to just smooth things out. They're not perfect, but I got them pretty smooth, so they'll fly good, they'll be easy to grip without dealing with splinters. And then I put some of this water-based wood sheen on it, which is just a stain, and that helps to protect them so they don't rot. And really the best thing about that is it makes them dark brown, because wood without bark on it is white, and when you're throwing something white in the air, it kind of stands out, especially to an animal that you're throwing it at, and it's going to be more likely to see it. So it kind of helps to camouflage these. This first stick was made from I thought was a good cut of wood, but it was actually a dead sapling which I found out had worms in it, and it's kind of a little bit doughy and punky. So I just decided to go ahead and finish it because it's really too lightweight to hunt with, but maybe I can practice with it. And the thing about throwing the sticks and the accuracy, it's all about your release, getting a consistent release. So you can practice with a lighter stick so it's easier on your arm, doesn't wear out your arm as fast. Get that release down, and then that'll translate once you're using a heavier stick to hunt with. So that's why I kept this one. This was the one that I fire hardened earlier because it was cut from a green piece of wood which was really dense, and that has checked a little bit, but that's fine. I'm not really concerned about it. These don't have to be perfect, but this one's nice. It's compact. It's got a nice bend to it, flies really well, and it's heavy enough that it could kill small game if it hits it. Generally, they say, as a rule of thumb, you want your rabbit stick the length of your arm minus your hand, but this one is considerably smaller than that, so I'm just trying to see if there's a trade-off for that. The reason I like that is because I can put this in my bag like this, and it just fits right in there, and I can just carry it around, pull it right out of my bag whenever I need it. So that's really convenient. The other ones are a little bit too big and heavy to carry in that manner. So you can also just tie a little loop around your belt with maybe like a taut line hitch, and just pull it tight around the handle area, and just let that dangle from your hip, and then just pull it down as soon as you need it, because these are weapons of opportunity. I highly doubt you're just going to set off into the woods with a rabbit stick and come back with a lot of game. But if you're out scouting, hunting, or trapping with some other weapon, and you have one of these just in case, maybe an animal will present itself, and you can have a target of opportunity there. I've seen it time and time again where the animal, you just stumble upon one, and you never have a weapon when that happens, yet if you go out looking for them, you never get those close-up opportunities. But if you're always carrying this, eventually that'll happen. You'll catch one slipping one day, they'll be a little bit too close, and they won't take you as a threat immediately, and you'll be able to get a shot off. So that's how I envision using rabbit sticks as hunting implements. Not a primary weapon, but a kind of a weapon of opportunity. Our last one here, this came from Standing Deadfall. It was really dense. Even though it was dead, it was really dense. It's also big, thick around. It's probably thicker than my wrist. This has what I would consider the ideal shape. It's got an elbow in it. It's kind of offset from the center. It's thicker on one end. I shaved down the handle side so I could grip it better. And it's, you know, extremely heavy. It's over 2 pounds. But the heavier the better, because it's going to be a lot more lethal when it hits something. The trade-off is going to be speed and distance, and the speed with which you get the stick to the target can make a difference, because the animal might hear or see the stick coming and dodge, duck, fly away, whatever. One thing that I kind of picture happening is you throw it, the animal's probably, if you're stalking animals and having to get that close, which the distance that you're probably looking at is around 10 yards, they're probably going to know you're there, and they're just kind of trying to slowly get away, or they're hoping you don't see them. When you throw it, they're going to hear it or see it, and their reflexes are lightning fast, so they're probably either going to duck or they're going to start to take off. Now the thing is, when you throw this, unless you're super expert, you don't really know exactly where it's going to hit. You're just flinging it in the general direction. So if it goes a little low, maybe the animal will duck into it. If it goes a little high, they may fly up into it. So even if you're completely accurate, it might duck exactly where you aimed it. So I can kind of see it going both ways, to where a bad shot could end up being a good shot, and a good shot could end up being a bad shot, because the animal ducks or flies away before this hits where it was standing. So you might get lucky and throw it high and the animal flies up into it. I could see stuff like that happening. So there's kind of a give and take there. But you know, I'm just gonna experiment with these. I may make some more and try at some point to do some hunting with them, see what happens. I'll do a video of me out in the field with this one doing a target shot, simulating on a turkey, for example, and we'll see what that looks like. Alright, we've got a target here, which is basically just a stick with a ball on the end of it. It's about 2 feet high, so we'll say that represents a turkey. And if we hit anywhere from about midway up on the stick and then the ball, we'll consider that a lethal hit, or a hit good enough to stop the turkey. Alright, we'll do this from about 9 paces. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So you can see it hit it right on the head. It didn't even hit the stick, it just hit the ball. And I'm not sure if it even hit sideways. I think it hit the end, kind of came in and hit like that. So that was definitely a lethal hit.